So I've been intuitively guided to the Merkabite calcite, which is a interdimensional crystal affecting from your first chakra all the way up to your 12th chakra, getting interdimensional. And if you have any sort of distortions in your first to your 7th chakra, it'll actually break up the disruptions, allowing you to completely activate the pineal gland energy, which causes the awakening into the higher self. And then the crystal will actually start affecting you on an etheric level with direct attunement to your 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th chakras. And when you've activated up to there, you've activated the Merkabic energy. And when the Merkaba energy is activated around your auric field, when you're doing this interdimensional work with the Merkabite calcite, you can actually start opening up stargates in your Merkabic field above your 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th interdimensional self. So when you start doing this and working on the etheric level, it gets really unique in a sense where you get to get interdimensional. And that's when you start to awaken to things and feel the synchronistic moments happen over and over and over again. And you start to understand as creator gods that we are playing a powerful role in co-creating this web of consciousness that we exist in here. So the work that I'm doing right now is going to directly lead to the awakening of the blending of the 4th and 5th dimension consciousness with the 3rd dimension reality consciousness, in the sense where every single person right now should be awakening within their dream state, like going lucid within your dreams. And if you've awakened within your dream state, going lucid, then that's you awakening within the 4th dimension consciousness. And when you awaken within the 4th dimension consciousness, you already know you can manifest instantaneously. And that's your conscious mind awakened within the 4th dimension. So you have the opportunity to play around in this dimension of reality. So now you know, if you've gone lucid and you know, at least know you have had a friend who's gone lucid, then you know you've awakened within the 4th dimension consciousness. So no longer limit yourself to thinking that this is a 3-dimensional reality, because we've accessed the 4th already through our dream state. And that's where all the elders and all of the sacred wisdom through the Egyptians was cherished. It was all through pineal gland activated 4th and 5th dimension frequencies, and they would actually merge that state of consciousness with the 3rd dimension reality, thus creating the great pyramids and the sacred temples that have been carved directly into the sides of cliffs in India and whatnot. So what we're in the midst of doing actually right now is becoming creator gods and awakening, merging the 3rd, 4th, and 5th dimension consciousness with a one in a web on this collective grid. So to get back to the synchronistic moments of how this guy could somehow come up to me and recognize as I'm doing my painting, my live painting on the playa, that I have a 12-star activated Merkabic field that surrounds my aura. And so I gifted him the Merkabite crystals that I had on me and explained to him, and he told me that I was actually supposed to make it to this crystalline Merkaba activation that was happening at 6 o'clock on Friday. And for me, this resonated, so I had to do it. For him to come up to me and recognize not just not me, but my actual auric 12-star pointed star tetrahedron around my body. So I knew I was supposed to be here. So comes Friday, 4 days later, many different things were happening. I'm getting ready to go to the workshop, and we were told it was next to the Buddha Lounge. So I'm on my way finding it, and I happen to run into the individual, and he tells me I have 15 minutes before the workshop starts. So I race to camp, take care of something, and on my way back, my girlfriend has to use the bathroom. And I know that every stall, every cosmic stall that happens once you've awakened to this state of consciousness, you take it as a sign or an opportunity to share your knowledge with someone within your presence. So as I'm waiting for her out front of the porta potties, I'd say, okay, if anyone stops within my presence, I will enlighten them on which crystal workshop to make it to, because this is very powerful information. As I'm thinking this, these women pull up on their bike and for some reason stop right next to me. So I have to at least express myself. And at that same moment, I say to them, I feel you two should probably make it to this crystalline Merkaba activation happening right now next to the Buddha Lounge. And they kind of just laughed at me and thought that I was trying to coax them into keeping me company during this crystalline workshop. But then, so they say, oh, you just want company? And I kind of laugh and say, no, not at all. I'm waiting for my girlfriend in the bathroom. I don't need company. It's just I feel that every unique individual who's part of this community should awaken to this vibration and this crystalline energy, this Merkabic field. And then they really, then that's when they laughed, and she says, open up your hands. And she hands me a naturally faceted dodecahedron pyrite. which is the inverted version of the star tetrahedron minus the sacred pyramids on it. So right here, this makes complete sense why we had this alignment. She looks at me and says, I think I'm supposed to make it to that crystal workshop. And so as I'm sitting there waiting for my girlfriend, I see them disappear in the distance, and I'm like, dang, because I saw them take the wrong left and they weren't heading towards the actual workshop. So I get with my girlfriend and we want to make it to the workshop, so we just kind of put a conscious intention out there for them to make it, because it was a really beautiful exchange. Apparently they were supposed to make it with this naturally faceted dodecahedron fire pyrite. So as we get to the workshop, I show up, and I had explained to the guy who was hosting it that I am the holder of these sacred crystals. And so as we introduce ourselves to each other, he tells me that I'm allowed to open the workshop. So we actually we hosted this workshop together. He allowed me to awaken everyone's mind to the actual metaphysical properties of the Merkabite calcite, and as I did that, it was about a 15-minute synchronistic breakdown, and we gifted one piece of Merkabite calcite to every person in the sacred ceremony, and I handed around the ultraviolet light that you can hit them with that allows them to light up in the ultralight, and it shows in the ultraviolet light, and it allows you to see that the crystals glow on the etheric level of the higher dimensional chakras. So it glows at an ultraviolet purplish pink, showing you that it wants to tune to the higher self. So as we gift these crystals around the place, I had brought a sacred crystal that 2 weeks before I was in Mount Shasta, and for some reason it happened that I was supposed to go to Mount Shasta the week before I'm at Burning Man. So I'm at my good friend's house in Santa Cruz creating the crystals, the crystalline frame that we're building to paint as the art structure, and I'm there for 2 days straight working the whole day and whole night aligning these hexagon pieces and building the points, and then we're gonna have to wrap the crystals in fabric. So as we're doing this, I'm telling my friends about my possible trip to Mount Shasta, and they convinced me that obviously I was supposed to make it. Don't let the creation of the art project get my energy down, and that I should go to Mount Shasta because it was a calling, and I in a sense knew that I was supposed to be there anyway. So on my trip up to Shasta, we ended up going to a sacred crystal shop. I had looked online, basically accessing the modern day Akashic records, asking my higher self to find the information for me, thus searching keywords through Google or whatever, then allowing you to find the right window that pops up, leading you to the information that your body needs to ascend at that moment, or whatever the knowledge that you need to align your synchronistic moment. So here I am, I find a crystal shop, and off we go to Shasta from about an hour away at his friend's mom's house. And as we head into Shasta, we are on our way to the crystal shop that we had location directions to, and I happened to see a different crystal shop as we're making a turn, and for some reason we decided that that was a crystal shop that we would like to check out. And stay hydrated, it's hot out here. We're on the playa at Burning Man, and so as we decide to stop at this crystal shop, I walk in, and the funniest thing was I'd been looking for my other interdimensional calcite, which was the stellar beam calcite, and I walk right into the crystal shop. It's got one of the most harmonious feels. Every single thing, it was one of those crystal shops where every crystal was so clean with pure energy. They kept it very clean and tidy. They had beautiful music playing. I actually got to buy a CD that was by a Syrian, one of the Sirius, the people, a beautiful lady from the star cluster Sirius, and she named every one of her songs after a crystal. So I brought that home for my girlfriend as a gift because she could not make it to Mount Shasta with me on this trip. And as I'm in the crystal shop, I'm definitely noticing the harmony within this place, and as I walked in, the very first thing I was drawn to was her display of stellar beam calcite. So the synchronistic moments start occurring, and I look up, and I didn't even look at the price because I thought it was going to be so expensive, and I wouldn't want to, you know, I was kind of, oh, how am I going to afford this piece or whatever. It looked pricey, and so I overlooked it, and I kept walking around, and I found a few other beautiful crystals. And as I'm walking over to her desk, talking to her, and I pick up her business card, and as I see it, I start looking at my friend and telling him that I knew for a fact that it looked familiar to me, almost like one of those one of those moments, serendipity or whatever, where you know you felt this feeling before, or either that or you knew